Let's take a look at where the grain markets are right now, and we'll take a look at these instant quotes provided by Bar Chart. Well, on that corn market, we hit a high of 429 3/4 per bushel, and now we're within a penny of the low of the day. We are at 2.5 cent gain, and they are trading now at 426. Now it just changed. So that would be a penny from our low of the day. I wanted to point out that we had an overnight export sale of corn this morning. It was 334,000 tons of corn to unknown destinations. So I guess it's good for about 2.5 cents, apparently. 334,000 tons. You can add that to the total. And no soybean sales again this morning. That's starting to make people just a tad antsy out there. Speaking of soybeans, let's see how they're trading. We have January soybeans 9.5 cents higher now at $11.90 1/4 after hitting a high of exactly $12 overnight in that first minute of Globex trade last night. And it's been downhill basically about ever since. We are just kind of trolling around within a couple pennies of our low of the morning session so far. So let's check out Chicago wheat. Let's go there with December, 10 1/4 higher at 603.5 right now. That's your best performer, more than corn and soybeans to the upside here. So we are basically a penny and a quarter from our high of the trading day so far. Let's look at Kansas City wheat now, and we have December 4 1/4 higher. We're at 554.5, right in the middle of our trading range. And spring wheat trade, we have the December contract on the spring wheat, 3 1/4 higher at 547 1/4. Chris Swift is with Swift Trading Incorporated. He's based in Nashville, and I want to get your analysis here on what we're seeing take place here, Chris. Higher trade this morning, but we're starting to ease back a little bit. Are you nervous or not?
Good morning, Marlin. No, not really. I tell you what I've read mostly over the weekend is that South America did not get the amount of rainfall that they were looking for. So some of the crops that did get planted within the last couple of weeks probably need a little shot of rain. And in eastern portions of Argentina, they have halted grain plantings right now until they get some more moisture over there. So, combine that with our drought here in the United States, especially in the wheat belts there, and it gives pretty good reason that we're moving higher in grains during a seasonal time frame when we generally don't.
Well, do you expect to see another run toward the highs before we get to the end of the year here, or do you think it's going to be kind of a struggle here?
Well, it's a tough thing to say. Right now, they're all in bull markets, and with the corn market now flirting with its previous highs that we saw a couple of weeks ago, kind of looks to me like nobody wants to let up on the pressure of it just yet.
Okay, what are the basis levels doing around the country? Have you heard here recently?
No, I hadn't paid much attention. Ever since the grain harvest pretty much wrapped up, we stopped looking at that. So right now, honestly, I don't know what the bases are running at.
One thing about it on the corn, I see where the commodity funds sold 1,946 contracts last week. That puts them now at 278,889 on the long side. Also on the soybean side, the Commitment of Traders report that came out said the funds sold 12,320 contracts last week. That puts them at a net long 208,774. And that is how they are positioned on the soybeans. Basically, on the wheat market in Chicago, they're barely net long by 14,000. Kansas City, they're long 47,000 right now. All right, we'll come back here, Chris, and we'll take another peek at what's going on in that livestock trade. We had a very strong open in the cattle market. We'll see if they continue when we come back. We are back with you, and we are talking with Chris Swift of Swift Trading Incorporated. He is based in Nashville. Chris, I wanted to get your take on that cattle on feed report that came out last Friday. Any surface comments on what the numbers meant in that to you?
Well, yeah, they did. The 90% placement, of course, caught most everybody's attention there. But what we noticed more than anything is there wasn't a big change in the weight classes that were placed on feed. We had seen earlier where we had a lot of lighter weight cattle placed on feed, and I think that some of that is due to the producer wanting some timeline out in front of him. Instead of putting a big, heavy cattle on feed and having them off in a shorter period of time, right in the middle of where this pandemic is hitting, they're trying to get cattle out just a little bit further and space them out just a little bit, especially in case if we have more packing facilities to shut down or to go on limited hours.
Wanted to take a look at our current futures and on the live cattle trade with these quotes provided by Bar Chart here. We currently have everything trading over $1 higher. December live cattle now up $1.02. We're at 109.17. February $1.15 higher. The biggest gain is in the deferred contracts, way out there in August, up $1.50 right now at 110.15. And if you look at the feeder cattle market here today, we currently have the January contract up by $2.55. We're at 137.15 after a low this morning at 135.22. So basically about a $2 gain on that nearby January contract, and it's leading the way higher. The nearby contract, that would be kind of a bullish spread type scenario. I did want to point out for cash cattle trade Friday, we had a little bit of cleanup type trade, about 109 on just about 100 head that sold in Kansas. Other than that, pretty quiet except for a few dress sales in Nebraska and Iowa, anywhere from 170 to 172 in those markets. On the lean hog trade right now, you currently have December trading $1.92 higher at 66.05, and the February up to 65, right at $68 even after a low of 65.05. So there you go again, Chris, almost a $3 rally off of that earlier low this morning.
Yeah, in the hog market, that's pretty interesting because, we hadn't seen anything any different really take place in the hogs, and the lean hog index down another 63 cents this morning. So it's kind of interesting, and maybe they're just riding off the coattails of the cattle, but I don't see anything just real physically in the hog market to cause this run up here.
Interesting. All right. Thank you, Chris, for talking with us. Chris Swift of Swift Trading Incorporated. He's based in Nashville. And Janet, with that, I will turn it back to you.